Hello, everybody out in STEM world. Mr.
Hello.
Santella, Tyler here, bringing you another edition of Getting to Know, and our guest today is Mrs. Berger. Ms.
Yay!
Berger, how are you
Woohoo!
today?
I am great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling a little green, but not like sick.
You look like you might be coming down with something.
Yeah, well,
Just the
I don't
top half. I don't understand.
The top
know.
half.
Yeah. From like here down, I feel okay.
I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
yeah. Mr.
Well,
Tyler,
Miss
how are you doing today?
You know what? I'm doing fantastic. It is a beautiful day, so I decided to come out and do the video out here today. So if any of you are seeing this and it's nice out when you're seeing it, get outside. Enjoy the weather. It's beautiful outside.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of wishing I'd set my computer up outside.
Well, we can't all be as cool as Mr. Tyler.
Too late. I know. Someday I'll record it.
All right. Mr. Tyler, are you starting this off or am I?
I think I'll start this one off. So, Miss
All right.
Berger, we're going to ask you, we have 6 questions that we've been asking everyone.
Great.
So if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get started with those first questions.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. So first, your name and how long you've been at STEM Lab.
My name is Sarah Berger, and this was my 5th year at STEM Lab.
Okay. And where are you originally from?
I am born and raised in Boulder, Colorado. So I have lived here my whole life, other than a few months here and there. So since forever.
We know that about you. We're going to get into that more later.
Oh, good.
Tell us about your family, including any pets.
I am married to a man whose name is Nick, and he is a therapist. So his goal in life is to help people feel physically and mentally healthy. I have a 7-year-old daughter who is in 1st grade this year, and I have a 4-year-old son who is in preschool. And then if you would like to see my pet, this is Fiona. Fiona.
Hi, Fiona.
Fiona. This is
Hi,
Fiona.
Fiona.
Say hi. Can you see her?
Yeah.
All right, there's Fiona.
Well,
my
hello,
English bulldog.
Fiona.
And then my kids each have a fish in a fish tank in their room.
Very nice.
Yes.
What are the names of the fish?
Sadie's fish and Adam's fish.
Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Just keep them, just tell them apart, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Berger, why have you decided to make STEM Lab your home?
Good question. I have always loved science and math. Those were sort of my favorite subjects growing up. And then I was a middle school science teacher. And then I did a lot of work with teachers in STEM education. And then I had a different job that I ended up not being super happy with, and was staying home with my daughter for a little while before my son was born. And then I saw the posting for a half-time coaching job at a STEM school, and I'd been coaching for about 7 years at that point. And I had always thought that a coaching job at a STEM school was kind of my fantasy. Like that sounded about like the best job I could find for myself, and it has turned out to be about the best job I could have ever found for myself, because I love it here. Love the kids, love the staff, love the administration.
So speaking of your dream job, as you say, what is the best part of your job?
I would say the best part of my job is when I get to see kids being excited about the things that the teachers are working on with them, especially if it's been something that we've worked on as a staff, that, the teachers are learning something new and trying something new with their kids, and then the kids get excited and engaged and are loving learning. That's kind of my highlight, I think.
Awesome. One more for me before we kick it over to Mr. Santella.
Yeah.
For you, what is one positive thing that has come from being in quarantine?
I feel like there have been tons of positive things. I feel like one positive thing has really been the great time with my kids. I think I'm lucky to have a background as a teacher, and so it's fun for me to get to homeschool my kids most of the time. Sometimes they don't want it and it's a fight, but other times I love getting to teach my kids, and I love the time with them. And I just have loved all of the family time. I mean, we've been together constantly for what, 6, 7 weeks now, nonstop. And I've enjoyed almost every bit of it.
That's awesome. And I'm sure your kids feel the same way, that mom and dad are always home. So
I think
that's great.
they seem really happy, which is what makes me really happy.
Good. Mr. Santella, I'm going to kick it over to you.
All right. So, Mrs. Berger, we have some questions that are more specific to you so that the audience watching this can just kind of get to know you a little better. All right. So, Mrs. Berger, you had mentioned that you were previously a middle school science teacher and now you are a coach. So, how did you find your way to coaching?
When I was a middle school science teacher, I had about 120 kids each year, and I loved the potential for impact on kids, that they either love learning or start loving science if they didn't before, or they have a new connection with the grown-up and they want to be a teacher, or they want to find a job that they're excited to have. And just having that relationship with them. And I felt like as a teacher, there's so much you can do to have a positive impact on the kids that you work with, either your relationship with them or helping them develop an even greater love of learning. And so when I was teaching, I thought, well, I wish I could know more about teaching, and I wish I could know everything there is to know about teaching, which it's not possible to do, but you can always learn more. And so I decided to get my PhD so that I could learn even more about teaching. And then what I thought about that meant a lot to me is that I knew as a middle school science teacher, if that's 120 kids that I got to work with every year, if I got to work with teachers and help support teachers have that great of an impact on kids, it's like for every one teacher, that's hundreds and thousands of children that you can possibly have a positive impact on making their lives meaningful and happy and successful. So I wanted to go into teaching teachers because I felt like it has an even bigger impact on kids long term.
Excellent. So, thinking about the impact you have, like you basically, what I heard is that you went from helping 100 and something odd students to now helping hundreds and thousands of students, right? So that's an amazing, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So would you ever, or have you ever thought about becoming an administrator?
I don't want to become an administrator. I feel like the part of my job, or one of the many parts of my job that I love, is it's really about teaching and kids and learning. It's teaching and learning is the focus of my job. And I feel like as an administrator, they have so many things that they have to do, and some of them are awesome things that I know that they love to do. But it feels like not as much of it gets to be focused on teaching and learning as a lot of the other responsibilities. So I feel grateful that I get to focus just on the teaching and learning piece.
So is coaching your forever job?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you're amazing at it, having been a teacher that you coached and now being more of a coach with you. I've been able to see both sides of how you work, and you're amazing at your job. So I'm glad to hear that's what you plan on doing.
Too.
So,
thanks.
All right. So you also have another job. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
My other job, I actually do the exact same thing, but not as, it's not quite as fun as it is at STEM. So for my other job, I get contracted out to schools to do professional development and coaching for teachers. So I get to, teach teachers professional development stuff, teaching them whatever their school is working on learning, and then I get to coach them. And sometimes it's like a 2-day math institute where I teach a couple 100 teachers for 2 days and then never get to see them again. And sometimes I get to go into their classroom and coach them individually. And I love it's the same kind of work. And so I love both of my jobs. The one thing that I love more about STEM is being part of the STEM community, whereas for my other job, I just sort of bounce from school to school and I don't get to know the kids and I don't get to know the teachers as well. So that's why STEM is my primary, and the other one is awesome also, but not quite as awesome as STEM.
Yep. Cool. All right. So if you weren't a coach or in education, I guess in general, what would you be?
I have no idea. I have to think about that one for a moment. I don't know. I can't imagine not being in education. Maybe I would do something fun and crafty. Like I would open a craft store where I teach people how to do fun, crafty things. Or I
Mhm.
would be a seamstress and I would sew and I think I would do something crafty. So,
I do have to say, being
yeah.
your desk partner last year, she has it all. It's very crafty. It's very well put together, very well organized.
I love crafty things. So when I have free time, I love to do the crafty things. So I think I would probably do something crafty and creative. Or I used to think I would like open a coffee shop where I could bake all the treats because I like baking also. So
Okay.
something crafty or something baking oriented, I think. But I can't imagine leaving education.
Okay. Okay. So um, this year you also took on a new role of being a Girl Scout troop leader.
Yeah.
How has that been?
Well, it has been nothing since the quarantine has happened.
Yes. Yes.
So, but otherwise, that's been super fun also because and sometimes it's hard. Like, I think 7-year-olds don't necessarily want to do organized activities at 7:30 at night, but it's been fun that I get to work again directly with kids because my job at STEM is mostly working with grown-ups. So I've loved that I get to work with kids, and I have 13 kindergarten and first graders, and we get to do crafty things, and then we learn about being good, kind people and how we be responsible and how we get to be kind and develop relationships. So it's also education, and it's fun, and it's nice, and it's chaos trying to wrangle 7-year-olds at 7:30 at night.
How many boxes of Girl Scout cookies do you have in your house right now?
Oh, we just finished our Samoas, so that's gone. I had a little fraction lesson with Sadie, and we needed a visual, so I cut up our Samoa as our last. And then we have some of the s'mores and some of the Thin Mints. So we have 2 partially eaten boxes left. The rest
Oh,
are
okay.
yeah.
I was thinking you're going to say we've got cases just sitting around because we couldn't get out and sell them.
No, it was done. Like we had to be done selling before all of this
Oh, okay.
happened.
Okay.
So,
Oh
Good.
yeah,
man,
sold them all.
if that were the case, I was about to go get my wallet right now.
Right. Right. Can I just Venmo you? Is that cool?
Just drive
Yeah.
right on by. Just throw them into your car.
All right. How many books are you currently reading?
Uh, 5.
Okay. Excellent.
I think.
And Mr. Tyler, we should have done an over under before I asked that question to see who would have been closer.
Right.
I was gonna say
have a guess?
closer to like 10, to be honest with you, like 7, 8.
Sorry, I'm slacking.
Yeah.
Just I'm only reading 5, but they're all education. I haven't read anything that's non-education in quite a while. Like
I just love the fact that she had to go, well, let's see.
well, I have 2 sitting by my bed, 1 sitting on my dresser, 2 sitting right here, and those are the 5 that I see right now. There might be ones elsewhere that I could still be reading that are out of sight, out of mind.
So then I could be right. You could be closer to 10 then.
You could. Would you like me to tell you I'm reading 10 books? I'm reading 10
No,
books.
no. I want you to be honest, but my point is proven, right?
At least 5.
All
Yes.
right. All right. Who is Adam more like? You or Nick?
Oh, he is like both, probably more like Nick. I think he's probably a little bit more like Nick than he is like me. Although he has been a little bit moodier recently, which is much more like me than it is like Nick. Nick is just even tempered, even mood all the time, and I'm a little bit more up and down. So, but yeah, I think personality wise, he's a little bit more like Nick.
Okay. And then the follow-up, who is Sadie?
Oh, she is all me. Yes, she's the short little mini me, and that is my karma right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And both for the best and for other ways that make us, butt heads sometimes. But yeah, she's a little mini me.
All right. So you had said earlier that you have a PhD. So why don't you go by doctor?
At my last school, the principal insisted everybody call me doctor, and it was fine because I had just earned it. So I was like, yes, doctor. And then I don't know, it just sort of faded away. And since nobody calls me that, I don't make anybody call me that. My nameplate on my door, I think, says doctor. But then also there were young kids who would be like, you're a doctor. And then they'd be like, well, I hurt my arm. And I could get you a Band-Aid or read about how to fix your arm, but I think sometimes with younger kids, it seemed weird that I was a doctor, but I had nothing to do with doctoring. So doctor or
Okay.
Mrs. is fine. I'm good with either.
Cool. All right. Tyler, I'm going to turn it over to you to give the doctor the lightning round here. So.
Yay,
All
lightning.
right. Yes, lightning round. So we have 9 questions that we're going to ask you.
All right.
And I'm going to ask that you answer them with gut instinct. So
Uh-oh.
just think of it and shout it out and get it out there, okay?
Done. Okay.
We have a couple where you're going to finish the sentence. We have a couple about Boulder.
Okay.
So let's just have some fun with it.
All right.
And if Mr. Santella thinks you're taking too long, he'll buzz you out, okay?
Okay. I'm ready.
First one, CU football game or a Bronco game?
See you football game.
Oh,
Sorry, Mathis.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Oh, sorry, both of you.
all right. An accurate stereotype of Boulder is
Hippies.
an inaccurate stereotype of Boulder is.
Also hippies.
Can you explain for us a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole lot that is very, green and earth loving and spiritual and community loving, but that is not all that is here. So I think it gets the reputation of being that, but it's not all it is.
Got it. Okay. Next one. Favorite movie?
Oh, 16 Candles is what popped into my head. But I
Okay.
went through a whole bunch of John Hughes movies. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Favorite genre of music?
80s.
Okay. I'm just going to add one here. Favorite artist?
Oh. Big head taught. I have no idea. I listen to lots of things.
Okay. That's okay.
Sorry.
Florida or Las Vegas?
Florida.
I love it when blank.
Oh, my kids do what I asked them the first time.
Okay, good answer. It's a great answer. I
Yeah,
hate
every
You
it.
said
parent
gut
ever.
instinct. There it
Yeah,
is.
I think every parent. Yeah, I hate it when.
My kids do. No, I'm just joking. I hate it when people are mean to each other, honestly.
Okay, and our last one. If you truly know me, then you know.
Being nice and kind is the most important thing to me.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, that's it for our lightning round. It wasn't.
And I was
it wasn't
sweating. I
overly
thought that was
hard.
going to be harder than it was. But which artist do I like? Man, I've had like 17 different phases of my life pop through my head.
Well,
Is it
see,
Ted Todd? Is it, yeah.
When you said 80s, I thought, oh, darn it. That's
No,
a
well,
lot.
I thought like Men at Work was a good one, but I couldn't name more than like like George Michael's and Wham. I don't know, because I can't think of anything more than 2 songs that anybody in the 80s ever sang.
Got it.
But that's your favorite genre.
But that's my favorite genre.
And
Yeah.
hippies are and are not in Boulder.
Yes.
I am so
Has
confused.
this been educational?
Okay. All right. So to end the interview, we're just going to go ahead and give you the floor to send a message out to the STEM community. Anything you want to say, the floor is yours.
Keep on smiling and enjoying family time and getting outside, and don't be too hard on yourself. I have found that in our household, things get really hard, and it gets hard because we're being hard on ourselves. Either like, I didn't get through my lessons today, or I didn't do this well enough. So take it easy on yourself and accept that nobody's perfect. And I look forward to seeing you next year, and keep smiling and get outside and enjoy your time if you can, as much as you can.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Mrs. Berger. I'm sorry, Dr. Berger.
Doctor. Yeah.
Doctor.
We're very appreciative of you giving us a little bit of your time today. So until we see you again, have a great rest of your week, and
You too.
hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Good fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.